during the Emmys, while they were going on, I wasn't watching the Emmys at the time. I was watching football. But while the Emmys were going on, I got an email. Yeah, how about that? Seahawks beating the Patriots last night, last-second goal line stand. Hey, it's only good. Seahawks lost on the goal line in one big game, won on the goal line on another big game. But I got an email from Disney, the Disney publicist, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And it says WandaVision trailer now out, and went over and watched it. And it is a strange thing to say this. Usually if something is completely weird and bonkers, it's very hard to interpret what's going on, and it doesn't really tell you anything. Like, the more bonkers something is, it really isn't really telling you anything. Here was the special thing about this WandaVision trailer. It was bonkers, and yet I felt like for the first time, I got a little bit of an idea about what the show was going to be about. Like, I never really got that from the other stuff before, but this trailer comes out, and it was completely ludicrous, which is awesome. And yet at the same time, I felt like it was giving me a real grasp on what this is about. So Rob, I know you had a chance to look at this thing. And let me tell you what stood out to me. And I don't know if you'll agree with me or not as to, you know, whether this was accurate or not. So what it at least looked like to me was that, as we suspected, a lot of what's going on in WandaVision is a construct of Wanda herself and what she's doing. It looks to me, it appears like there's basically a town that she has kind of converted into her, like she's almost retreated. It's like a PTSD. She's retreated into this construct of her life with Vision. And it looks like it creates like almost like a dome around this town. And everybody in the town is just kind of zoned into it as a result of her power. We saw the one shot of, what's the character's name? She's the daughter from Captain Marvel. Why am I forgetting the name of the character? Captain Marvel's best friend in the main one, her daughter. She's now all grown up. And apparently she's an agent of S.W.O.R.D. I'm forgetting on the character's name. But it looks like she actually...
Captain Marvel. Well,
she got blown through the air, and she had like Scarlet Witch's like red energy kind of surrounding her. So it looks like maybe she got into some kind of a fight with Wanda. She got blown through the air and out of the dome, because it looked like she breaks out of the dome and all that kind of stuff. That looked good. And then when Vision finds Catherine Hahn, and like she's just kind of zoned out. And I kind of wonder if that's how everybody in the town is. And Vision wakes her up. It's like, were you dead? No. Why was it? Because you're dead. I mean, which was just amazing. That'll look good as he elevated, like levitated up. It's almost like he was discovering what was going on as he levitated up amongst the clouds to look down at the city and everything that's going on. I gotta tell you. And then she's starting to, I don't know, like maybe, I don't know, she's starting to break or whatever, but there was a lot of good deliciousness in this thing, Rob. I loved it. I thought it looked great, and apparently is confirmed it is coming out this year. And apparently, just as we were speculating, Falcon and Winter Soldier is not coming out this year. It has been pushed to 2021, but we'll talk about that another time. But Rob, you had a chance to take a look at this WandaVision trailer. What was your impressions?
I loved it. First of all, one of my favorite things is this is a figure of Wanda Maximoff, the original Scarlet Witch, actually in her original uniform. This is a Tonner doll of her. I loved seeing this outfit in the trailer, the classic comic outfit, and same with Vision. You know, right out of the classic Avengers, classic Vision and Scarlet Witch, great stuff. And this looks like it harks back to the House of M storyline, where Scarlet Witch went insane. She literally changed all of reality, making mutants the dominant force on the planet. And if they're sort of weighing into that, I'm like, okay. And if anybody was interested or wanted to know that Marvel was going to go in a bold new direction, there you go. There you go. This was it, man. I think this was really staking its claim, saying, you know what you've seen in the Infinity Saga? Well, we're going somewhere else. And I can't wait. I looked at this and I'm like, good on Marvel. Wow. Who would have expected that? I certainly didn't, but it's rad.
It looks really good. And of course, you take a look at these costumes, then them going completely old school with the costumes, which again, these costumes here, Rob, they kind of highlight how quite often we talk about how, hey, look, just because a costume looks good in a comic book doesn't mean it'll look good transferred over into live screen. This is a great example of why you've got to adapt the costumes sometimes.
Yep. But
still, it is really fun seeing this stuff. I mean, I just, again, it's just a matter of, because it's an MCU thing, I was looking forward to WandaVision. I thought that little sizzle they showed as a part of the grander thing earlier was cool. But I got to admit, I haven't been like super excited for it because honestly, I just had no idea what it's about. And as long as I have no idea what something's even about, it's difficult for me to get excited. Now that this trailer seems to give us some sort of parameters, at least a general idea about what the gist of the story is, now I'm really freaking excited. Like now my enthusiasm level for this has just gone through the roof. Because I'll be honest with you, WandaVision has probably been sitting, again, I'm looking forward to all the stuff that's coming out, but WandaVision has probably been sitting near the bottom of all the things that were coming out from the MCU upcoming. And this is just taking it to a new level. It looks freaky.
Let me ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you talked about, it's Monica Rambeau that I was trying to
Monica
think of.
Rambeau, yes.
Yeah,
that's
who was
the
original, she was Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers was Captain Marvel. Do you think she's playing an iteration? Because she had the hair. No. So I'm like, is she playing? No?
I don't think so. I think they're making her very much her own character in this. I don't think they're going that way in the comics. Like there are a million things in the comics that they never bring over. I don't think that's going to be
true.
That at all. I think I think she's going to be an Agents of S.W.O.R.D. You know what? Who was not in here was Kat Denning. And Kat Denning, that was one of the big interesting things to me when they announced that she was going to be in it. First of all, I just love Kat Denning ever since the 40-Year-Old Virgin. And I really did like, whereas some people got annoyed by her in the Thor movies, and admittedly in Thor Dark World, they didn't use her character the best, but I've always liked that character. And seeing when they were bringing her over into this, I was kind of hoping to get a little bit of a look at her. But listen, I'm a simple man, Rob. You put Catherine Hahn in something, I'm in. You put Catherine Hahn in something, I am absolutely in. She steals everything she's in. It doesn't matter if it's Anchorman or Step Brothers. Oh my God, her role in Step Brothers is so good. You just put her in something I'm totally in. So yeah, but listen, where do you think they're going with this? Like I gave you my kind of, here's how I interpret this trailer that we just saw. I'm thinking there's like an entire town Wanda's kind of taken over that's gotten the attention of S.W.O.R.D. who's now in there. Wanda's kind of living out this fantasy world in there. Maybe she's cracked a little bit. I don't know, but that's what I'm getting. What do you get from the trailer?
Well, I definitely think that they're dealing with the fact that Wanda might have lost control of reality based on the events of Infinity War, losing Vision, and Endgame. Something has happened to her psychologically. Maybe they had to sequester her away or something. But they have said that this leads directly into the multiverse of madness.
Have they said that, though? Have they said that? I've heard a lot of fans speculate that, but I don't know that I've heard anybody officially say that. Have they?
I just recall reading something somewhere, but it hasn't been for obviously a long time. But it would make sense to me because if they go back, they're always looking to the comics for inspiration. In the House of M storyline, when she altered reality, it looks like they're taking something from that, or maybe they're trying to protect the rest of the world from being altered, which is why she's where she is. And I don't know, but I just think it's a bold, audacious choice to do this. And I'm a huge fan of Miss Olsen. So putting her front and center finally, I think is a good thing.
And by the way, speaking of which, I am also a big fan of Paul Bettany. And
oh my God.
Paul Bettany is,
I've been Mr. Jennifer Connelly?
Yeah, Mr. Jennifer Connelly is a good way to put it. I've been a big fan of his. I mean, like a lot of people, I think a lot of people became Paul Bettany fans with Knight's Tale. When he was kind of the squire, the wordsmith.
Master and Commander.
And well, he's so good in Master and Commander, and then he was in that other Russell Crowe movie with him, that one where he's the mathematician, and I'm trying to remember the name of that one. Anyway,
Beautiful Mind.
Beautiful Mind, thank you. He was in Beautiful Mind. I remember he even had this little rom-com a number of years ago that everybody thinks was not good. And for whatever reason, I always appreciated where he played like some tennis star, and it's like a rom-com. He meets a girl. He's an aging tennis star and something else. But I've always liked him. And you know what's funny, Rob? I don't know if you ever heard Paul Bettany tell the story of how it's amazing how he got involved in the MCU, because he had basically just had a meeting with his, I heard him on a talk show basically telling the story. He was with his now former agent, and his agent was basically telling him, you're done. I mean, there's no one's gonna, I mean, you're like, you've had a great run, but just kind of one of those, cold, hard, honest things. And he said, I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard, like kind of bummed out. And then my phone rang, and it was Marvel saying, hey, we want to actually bring you in. Do you want to play Vision? Play Vision? He's like, ah! It's an amazing story. If you can look it up on YouTube, it's really, really fun to see that. So my guess is we're probably going to get this somewhere around December. And I can't wait, because if it does come somewhere around December, Rob, then we are going to see Disney Plus doing what they should have done a year ago, which was, we're going to get Mandalorian October 30th. It's going to run its episodes, and then it's going to have its conclusion. We're going to get the end of Mandalorian season 2, and probably within a week after that, we're going to get episode 1 of WandaVision, which is exactly what they should have had, something prepped like that.
Yep.
When the first Mandalorian is done. But I'm going to guess December. They haven't given an exact date, but I can't see it coming any earlier December. Can you?
No.
Like, I don't think they're going to run it while Mandalorian is running, do you?
I mean, if you think about it, we're on the downside of September. So you've got October, where we get Mandalorian, November, and then December. I mean, we're going into we're rapidly approaching the holiday season, such as it will be this year.
Such as it will be this year, indeed.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Question is, did you have a chance to see this WandaVision trailer? Maybe you didn't like it as much as we did. I thought it was fantastic, personally. What did you guys think? Jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.